Reading this article, it says, mysterious fireball sonic boom experienced in Vancouver, Western Washington, was indeed a meteor traveling at 33 kilometers, confirmed by NASA. So not only do we have the Free People, Freemason calling card in this story, but also it was confirmed by the most trustworthy organization in the world, NASA. There were some people that had experienced this, that not only did they see a bright flash, but the grounds were rumbling so hard, they thought they were experiencing an earthquake. But apparently it was just a meteor entering the atmosphere at exactly 33 kilometers per second. Now, while that may be their explanation, take a look at what this person captured on their Ring camera around that same time. I'm going to go ahead and try slowing this down to see if I can get a better view as to what this could possibly be. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what that could be. It just looks like one big ball of light, could even be a portal opening for all I know. Apparently this person posted this on Instagram and said, "So last night at 12:50 a.m., I heard a loud boom and my animal started freaking out. And then immediately my phone went off and said my camera detected a human. I thought someone was trying to get into my house or something. So I grabbed my phone and yelled over the camera to scare the person, but this is what the camera showed. Showed anybody know what happened last night, this would be the same day, March 3rd, as this quote-unquote meteor, but moving on. This strange object had been captured above Texas, and they are trying to say it's SpaceX, but is it really? And again, people are saying it was SpaceX. I don't think SpaceX actually gave an official statement, but this is what was seen back in 1937 over Vancouver. And it looks awfully similar to a lot of the sightings we see in the skies today that people claim is just SpaceX. While individuals in Canada and the United States were seeing strange sightings, people over in Berlin heard this. This video comes from the Paranormal Chick. They captured this around March 3rd, 2026. They were walking down the street when they heard this unidentified sound in the sky, what sounds like trumpets. They have no idea what caused this. Here's the thing, this phenomenon has been heard throughout different countries by hundreds of different witnesses. And yet we have yet to find out what causes this, where these sounds come from. Take a look at this, listen to the video, comment below, tell me what you think. Oh, there is definitely something going on in the skies and it's happening in greater frequency. There are even some locations that are hearing very strange noises where not only just the residents, but the officials of the city have given up altogether just trying to locate the source. And of course, the closer we get to the 2030 agenda and this whole quote-unquote alien disclosure that's supposed to be coming, we can't take Project Bluebeam off the table either. By now I'm sure most of us had heard of this news story about this Florida man. Supposedly he was kidnapped by dolphins, and he was made to build this whole underwater city. I'm going to go ahead and play this video by article, and while it does sound silly, while it does sound outlandish, I'm going to go ahead and make an interesting connection at the end of his video. Supposedly a man was kidnapped by dolphins, and what he's saying these dolphins made him do is wild. So a 33-year-old man was found disoriented and sunburned on the Santa Bell Causeway early Monday morning, claiming he was abducted by a pod of dolphins and forced to labor on an elaborate underwater construction project. Yep, now Lee County Sheriff's Office deputies got a call around 5:45 a.m. from a passing motorist who spotted Ricky James Halliwell standing barefoot on the causeway, drenched in sea sketching diagrams in the appeared to be minor aber feet consistent. He lacked coral and structural mater okay. Now, according to report, Halliwell recount by a group of bottlenose D recreationally off Fort M afternoon. He said they S security detail. He said it wasn't aggressive at first, but they nudged him deeper away from the shore. Before he knew it, he was at a site about 40 feet down in the Gulf, helping them build what looked like a full-scale aquatic habitat. What? Now, the man described the dolphins communicating via a complex series of echolocation clicks and whistles, which he said he picked up on after a few hours. Now, he identified the apparent leader of the pod as Gerald, a large male dolphin with distinctive scarring on its dorsal. He referred to him as the project foreman. So deputies were like, "How did you breathe underwater?" Ricky replied cryptically, "Gerald handled the breathing part, some kind of bubble system or pressure adaptation. I didn't ask too many questions." You don't question Gerald, he's got that authoritative vibe, but it gets crazier. Deputies noted that the sand sketches were remarkably detailed, spanning roughly 10 feet across, including scaled blueprints for what resembled a submerged community, multi-level condo structures. Made from natural coral and synthetic-like materials, a central town square with gathering pods and even a recreation center. The guy's diagrams had zoning regulations penciled in, setbacks, load-bearing specs, even environmental impact notes. He was then released Sunday evening after dolphins deemed his contributions satisfactory, with Gerald allegedly signaling that they might return for Phase 2. He then swam back to shore, disoriented from exhaustion, and hitchhiked partway to the causeway lapsing. So they send this guy to Leave Memorial Hospital for evaluation, where he's treated for dehydration and sunburn, but there was no drugs or alcohol in his system. He was also cleared with a clean bill of health, reporting no signs of delirium, psychosis, or head trauma that could explain these hallucinations. Or were they? Now, however, a routine chest X-ray and a fluid analysis revealed trace amounts of Gulf seawater in his lungs, specifically saline levels matching samples from 30 to 50 feet offshore. With microscopic marine particles like diatoms and plankton residue, dude was working underwater. Now, the crazy thing is Ricky did this for a living. He specialized in underwater construction and bio-inspired engineering. It's like Gerald knew. Now the police can't explain this. There's just too many details, but this has got to be one of the coolest stories I've ever heard in my life. Dolphins are the shit, and they chose Ricky to come build with them. Wild. So exactly one day after the story broke out, the Lee County Sheriff's Office went to the news to set the record straight about marine mammals were behind an underwater construction operation off the coast of Florida. I mean, kind of weird, right? This is the internet we're talking about. There are many rumors and outlandish claims made online that spread like wildfire. And yet when it comes to this one, the sheriff's office comes out, I don't even think a day later, to set the record straight. But it was the sheriff's office that are now saying they started the rumor. Continue to read the article. It says the sheriff's office emphasized that the situation is purely humorous. The agency added in a playful disclaimer, no dolphins were harmed in the making of this rumor. The department frequently uses lighthearted posts to engage with the community, blending local flavor with coastal humor. In this case, officials say the only thing underwater in Lee County is the usual mix of fish, shells, and sea life. Not construction crews or ocean-dwelling architects they're going to add. Despite the viral nature of this claim, authorities say there is no evidence of any underwater city planned or otherwise as of now. The real estate market remains firmly on dry land, but here's the thing. And here's the interesting connection. There actually is an underwater city. Does anybody remember Terramar? I spoke about it in a previous video. Ghislaine Maxwell's Terramar, this underwater city, this under-utopia where the rich and powerful will go to where they needed digital IDs and things like that back in 2016 in order to gain access. Maxwell had big partnerships with billionaires building this underwater city. She also said that Terramar owned like 50 to 70% of the waters. So it's not outside the realm of possibility that this Terramar would also stretch or eventually expand into the Gulf. What if these things lurking below are not really dolphins? They might look like dolphins, but they could be some kind of DNA experiment, genetic experiment linked to Terramar. Which that into itself is not really outside the realm of possibility, given the fact that Jeffrey on the Zora Ranch was deeply involved with DNA and genetic experimentation. So if they're doing experimentations on land, they're definitely doing it under the sea. And even if this is not the case, even if there's no connections to be had here, what a very strange and odd and very detailed story to go viral, started by the sheriff's office themselves.